This video is to go over lesson 1-2. I'm going to do the work together and the on your own, and then I will also walk you through a portion of the application problem. I don't normally do that, but the application problem is so different from the work together and on your own that's why I'm making an exception for this one. So this page here is on page 9 in your workbook, and then the instructions are on page 17 of your textbook. So for the work together 1-2, the instructions read, write the answers to the following problem in the working papers. Your instructor will guide you through the following example. So for each transaction, place a plus sign in the appropriate column if the account classification, asset, liability, or owner's equity is increased. Place a minus sign in the appropriate column if the account classification is decreased. Now, to make things a little bit easier, I wrote some of the account titles above here, so that way we would know what those are. So for assets, that's anything that we own that has value. Our three account titles we have as of right now would be cash, supplies, and prepaid insurance. Now our liabilities, the only one we have is accounts payable, which I abbreviated, as you can see. And then our only owner's equity account we have so far is our capital account. And this would have the owner's name before it and a comma after it. So let's go through these four transactions here. The first one, we bought supplies on account. So if we just look at that transaction here, bought supplies on account, we can see supplies is there. We bought supplies, and supplies is an asset. Now you think we're going to write either a plus or a minus. Since we bought supplies, we are getting more supplies, so we will put a plus sign here for assets. Now we bought those on account, so because of that, that's an accounts payable. The amount that we owe, whoever this accounts payable is increasing, so our liabilities is going to increase. This is a giant T here. If you can see, they made it dark here. What we do on one side, we have to do to the other side in order to keep our accounting equation in balance. There will be times that will just be on one side here where we will do a plus and a minus. Those are both acceptable. The second transaction, we received cash from owner as an investment. So we received cash. That means our cash account is increasing, and cash is an asset. So our assets are increasing. Now we received money from our owner as an investment. That would be our owner's equity using our capital account. Their capital is increasing because they have invested more money into the business, so that will receive a plus sign as well because it's increasing. On the third transaction, we paid cash for insurance. Now, since we paid cash, cash would be decreasing, so our asset will receive a minus. And our other account, this is for insurance, we call this prepaid insurance. And the reason because that insurance is an asset is that we have to pay for it before we use it. That is why it's called prepaid insurance. You typically would pay for 6 months of your car insurance before those 6 months come around. By law, you have to have car insurance. You can pay monthly, but either way, you have to pay for your insurance before you need it. So because of that, it's something that we own. It has value. If we were to cancel our insurance, we would get back some of that money that we've paid for the months we didn't use. So our cash went down because we paid cash. The value of our prepaid insurance is increasing. So because of that, we will have cash as a minus, and prepaid insurance is going to increase because our value of it is increasing. This is acceptable to have two asset accounts be affected in a transaction because one is going to be minus and one is going to be plus. Once we get to using the actual numbers in the application problem, you will see how it will still be in balance. And our last one, we paid cash on account. Since we paid cash, we will put a minus here in assets. That's a minus for cash. And we paid on account, which will be our accounts payable, which is classified as a liability. The amount we owe them is decreasing. So I can write over here, this would be pay on account. I'm going to abbreviate account ACCT. And then our plus up here, this would be if we buy on account. You'll see in accounting I'll make a lot of notes places, and it would be helpful if you made those notes as well. The 1-2 on your own is on page 10 in the workbook and page 17 in your textbook. Same instructions and directions that we had from the work together, so I'm going to jump right into it. I also don't have my accounts listed up here, but they're going to be the same type of accounts that we just had on the work together. So first transaction, received cash from owner as an investment. So we have cash, and then we got money from the owner as an investment. We're receiving cash. Cash here is an asset, so I am going to increase, put a plus sign here for my assets. Owner's equity, this is my capital account, that's also increasing because he is investing in the business, so that will receive a plus as well. On the second one, we bought supplies on account, so that is going to be increasing our supplies, and supplies is something that we own, which has value, so that will receive a plus for assets. And our liabilities is increasing. This is our accounts payable. This is money that we owe people. The amount that we owe them for buying supplies on account is increasing, so that's why that receives a plus. The third transaction, paid cash for supplies. We're paying cash, so that's going to subtract from the cash, and our supplies is increasing, so supplies will receive a plus. The fourth one, we paid cash for insurance. I'm going to abbreviate prepaid insurance as PI just to fit it up here and save time. We paid cash, so we're going to subtract from our assets, and our value of prepaid insurance is increasing, so that will receive a plus. And our last one, we paid cash on account. Since we paid cash, assets will receive a minus. And we're paying on account, that's where the money is going to. Since we are paying on account, the amount that we owe them is decreasing. Make sure whatever you do to one side of this accounting equation, you do to the other. If you subtract on one side, you have to subtract on the other. You can see these two on top. We added on the left side for assets. We have to add on the right side to always keep our equation in balance. All right, this application problem is on page 26 in your textbook, and it's on page 15 in your workbook. This is how we will be set up for this chapter and how we will be writing in our pluses and minuses also for the next chapter as well. The instructions on page 26 say Bethany Hartman is starting Hartman's Lawn Service, a small service business. Hartman's uses the accounts shown in the following equation. Use the form in your working papers to complete this problem. This is the form you're going to use. So it says for each transaction, complete the following. Transaction 1 is given as an example. We need to analyze the transaction to determine which accounts in the accounting equation are affected. We need to write the amount in the appropriate columns using a plus sign if the account is increased or a minus sign if the account decreases. Then calculate a new balance for each transaction in the accounting equation, and before going on to the next transaction, determine the accounting equation is still in balance. So the first transaction here was done for us. So let's look at this. We have assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity. That is our accounting equation. Our assets we have are cash, supplies, prepaid insurance. Our two liabilities we have are accounts payable NAPCO and accounts payable Hickman Moving, and then our owner's equity account is Bethany Hartman Capital. The first one was done for us, but let's look at it. First transaction, received cash from owner as an investment, $5,000. So cash was increased by $5,000. Bethany Hartman's capital was increased by $5,000. Our accounting equation is in balance. We have $5,000 on the left side, $5,000 on the right side. And we're going to write this in a certain way. You can see our balance right up here where it says new balance. The rest all have zeros. So we're going to record this in a certain way. Make sure you do it exactly how I do. The second transaction, we paid cash for insurance, $1,800. So we paid cash. Paying cash would be an asset. It's affecting our asset. It's affecting our account for cash. And since we paid cash, we need to subtract $1,800. Now, our other account we need to use is going to be for insurance. Our prepaid insurance is increasing our value because we just bought insurance. So insurance, prepaid insurance, will increase by $1,800. So we will then need to go ahead and calculate our new balances. And when we do this, I just go from left to right. So 5,000 minus 1,800, this will be 3,200, and you'll need to write small on top, as you can see I did. Supplies is still at 0. Prepaid insurance is $1,800. The two accounts payable are zeros, and then capital is still 5,000. Since nothing happened to this $5,000, it's still $5,000. I can go ahead and add 3,200 plus 1,800, which will be 5,000. My accounting equation is in balance right now. All is good. So the new balance, or our current balance, will just be listed on the top half of this row. You're going to have to write a little bit small. Don't use decimal places because we will not have any cents for a while, and also never use dollar signs. Okay, third transaction. We bought supplies on account from Hickman Mowing, $700. So we bought supplies. Our supplies account will be affected. It is increasing, so we will do plus 700. And we also will have an accounts payable. Make sure you're using the right one. We bought from Hickman Mowing, so the amount we owe them is increasing by $700. So we will then go ahead and calculate our new balance. We add it on each side of our equation, which is how we need to do it. So 3,200 for cash, our new balance. I'm just going to go all the way across. And if you add these two sides of the equation, you would see each side equals 5,700. It always needs to be in balance. If it's ever not in balance, we would have a problem and we would need to fix it. Okay, the fourth transaction, we bought supplies on account from NAPCO, this time for $200. Same thing as before, but we're going to use our other accounts payable. So we bought supplies, so supplies is increasing by $200. And then we also will owe NAP payable $200. The amount that we owe them is increasing. So let's calculate our new balance here. Cash hasn't been used for a little bit, still the same. Supplies, we had 700 plus 200, so our new balance for supplies is 900. Carrying across as we go here. Alright, and we're just going to keep bringing our numbers down because that's our new balance right now. Alright, the fifth one, we paid cash on account to Hickman Mowing, $300. So we paid cash, so because of that, our cash account is affected. Since we paid cash, we will subtract $300. And our accounts payable for Hickman Mowing is also going to be affected. The amount we owe them is less by $300, so we will subtract $300. Plus, if we minus on one side, we're going to subtract on the other side as well. So our new cash balance is going to be $2,900. And then carry our rest of our balances down as we go across. The amount we owe Hickman Mowing now is $400. And then Bethany Capital will be $5,000. Now, as you go through the rest, I won't do the bottom ones here, you can do those, but make sure your ending numbers balance out, and I will even give you your ending total since we're just starting to kind of help make things a little bit easier. One thing I want to point out, if you make a mistake, like say on line 5, that mistake's going to follow you all the way down, which is why it's really important to use pencil and just double check your work as you go. There's lots of different mistakes that can be made.